now it's my turn. And so for those who just connected to the YouTube channel and also here in Zoom, I'm Federica Scaffidi. I'm a researcher and lecturer at the Leibniz University of Hannover. And so I'm going to share my screen. You should see my presentation. So for this session about social innovation and urban heritage, I'm going to talk about social innovative recycling of productive heritage. And so focusing attention on that abandoned assets that we have in Italy, Germany, and Spain. Because I believe in a future where neglected and dead sites become livable and vibrant spaces for the future. And so in creating innovative business models and model of management that promote new jobs, community services, social cultural activities, and urban development, as we mentioned also in the previous lecture. And so transforming this abandoned resource that we consider heritage into sustainable, vibrant ecosystems. And so how do we make this possible? How do we create this future? And to answer to this question, with my research, I analyzed a few examples in Europe, especially in the three nations that I mentioned before. And I analyzed the impacts of these models, of these new enterprises that manage these neglected sites, and to observe what kind of impacts we have in the community, in the asset itself, in the resource, and in the urban context. And so today I'm going to show briefly three cases, so one for Germany, one for Italy, and the third about Spain. And I will spend a bit more time for the third case because it's my case study. And so today we should have had the presentation of Carlo Roccafiorita about Periferica. And so let me say a few words about Periferica because I consider it also a very successful example of model of management and recycling of former productive heritage. And so we are in a former limestone quarry that today is a social cultural hub, and they create different kind of social cultural activities, and they increase the quality of life with culture and education. And here what we can see as model management is a social cooperative, so a social enterprise that try to recycling this heritage with through educations, co-working activities and cultural events. But what I found very interesting in this specific case is that the influence they have is not just related to the asset, but we can see also positive impacts into the urban context. And so one of the last projects they developed in cooperation with the municipality of Mazara is called Rigenerata, and create a pact with the municipality in order to create, to open the spaces, the neglected spaces of the city, develop the margins, so the fringes of Mazara, enhance the heritage and empower people with education. And here you can see some of the 4 points they developed together with the municipality. But I want to start with the first example I selected for this presentation. And so we are in Germany, in Leipzig. This is the Baumwollspinnerei. That was a former cotton mill, and today is a space for art and culture. In this specific case, instead, we can see that the model used, and so the management model is private, and so there is a management company that invested and bought these buildings, and so the property of the Baumwollspinnerei, and create so a new future related to art and culture. But inside we can see also other businesses, no profit and institution. And the main aim also in this case is to improve the quality of life through artistic initiatives and public participation. And we can see also, before we were talking about the different stakeholders, also in this case, the municipality plays an important role in this social innovative recycling of this productive assets. And also in this case, we can see that the city of Leipzig also tried to create also a financial program to involve also unemployed people. And so inside this area of Spinnerei, we can see different kind of social cultural activities and different forms of social enterprises, companies that work in the direction of the arts and culture. And so we can see activities related to theater, cinema, dance, or many galleries. I personally interviewed the director of Alle Vietzen, which is a contemporary art center that works on the international exhibitions. And so what was really important in this conversation with Michael Hartz was this aspect of the social engagement. And he told me that this is one of the main aspects in the recycling of this site. They also tried from the beginning also creating a symposium called How Architecture Can Think Socially in order to try to promote also better understanding of this property, of this asset, because in general, in many cases, product industrial assets are not so recognized as quality, as valuable heritage. And so today, what we can see in these spaces in between the city center of Leipzig and the Baumol Spinnerei are spaces more lively spaces with creative and cultural initiatives, and also new influx of residents in this space. And again, the city of Leipzig also played an important role, and as recognized the importance of the art sector and implemented a creative strategy in the integrated urban development program. And so today, so here, this is the city of Leipzig. This is the historic center of the city, and here is located the Baumol Spinnerei. And we can observe that today, thanks to also this intervention in this specific productive asset, we see a new flows, new connections between these two sides of the city. The second example that I want to show you is in Italy, in Apulia, is Expada. It's quite known in the European background, but I felt was useful also for our international guests to mention it, because it was a former wine factory, and today is one of the projects, one of the urban laboratory of the Volenti Spiriti project. And this collaborative space where there are many kinds of social cultural initiatives and interventions. And again, the model of management in this case is played by a society and Sunday SRL and the social cooperative. And so both entities played an important role in the social innovative recycling of these assets. And so we see that there are many forms, many kinds of social cultural initiatives they organize. So I selected here from the website a few of them. So for example, related to sport, about like the fencing club, or ingeniously, there is an association made basically from women of San Vito de Normanni that work on craftsmanship and handmade works, and so to also sensitize to the community to traditions and handmade works. And then it's food social restaurant that also involve people with disabilities in their work. And so this social dimension is also quite important in this specific case, because the community is part of the transformation of this space. It's not only involved in the activities, but also in open debates. And so they are part of the process of recycling of this site. And we can see, as I mentioned before, that this is one of the experiences in Puglia, promoted by the Regione Puglia from the Assessorato of Youth Policies and Social Innovation, which ambition was to redevelop neglected assets in a social innovative way. And this impact also we can see in the urban context. San Vito nei Normanni, so the municipality of San Vito, together with Expat, also created a plan, a pact, in order to redevelop some assets, defining new use tools and governance models for disuse urban spaces of the town of San Vito. And this is the project Santo Vito Mia that I want to mention. And so in these cases so far that I mentioned, we can observe how the effects that we have in the community, in the town, and in the assets. And so we can also observe a bit more these elements in the third and last example that I decided to show you today, and that is called the Salinas de Añana Salt Works. We are in the Basque Country in Spain, and this is a cultural and productive space, a space for innovation. And this is managed by a social enterprise that, together with the local government, the municipality, and the Gachaga society, manages and enhances the resource with social culture initiatives. And so here, this is the town, it's a very small town, 157 inhabitants, and these are the salt works, so basically almost the double of the town. And I interviewed many people of the community, and was useful to understand the role of the stakeholders. And so it was really important, the role of the municipality in the recycling project, and of the community, as also Edorta Novaldio, the former mayor, mentioned in an interview, because they really felt a struggle in order to get to receive that have been recognized this heritage as historic heritage of Spain. And another important role was played by the government, and so the Diputación Foral de Álava, that it is the government of Vitoria-Gasteiz, in which Salinas de Añana is inside. And so and they created this master plan for strategic planning, the plan director, which main objectives were integral recovery of the site, the sustainable future design, and the social culture and economic development of the territory. And so what's really important to mention this aspect, because are part of the main objective of this social enterprise of this foundation by Salado, that today produces the salt of Salinas de Añana, and create also socioeconomic and tourist development for the region through research programs for schools, families, universities, guided tours, special activities like salt workshop, work camps, salt spa, and exhibitions. And here a few photos of the experiences that you can find in Salinas de Añana, and the products of Salinas, so the flor de sal, chuzo de sal. And we can see this impact also in the tourist growth. And so we can see in 10 years from 5,000 tourists to 74,000 tourists. So there is a very huge increase, and the same for related to the economic growth and for merchandising, tools, and commercialization. But we can also observe these positive impacts into the urban space. And so we know that this is a very small town with with just 157 inhabitants. But thanks to this social innovative recycling of this productive heritage, new services and new companies were developed, and so there are new parking lots, tourist centers, social centers, new bed and breakfast shops and restaurants and bars in Salinas de Añana. And so, just to recap, what is I found from this experience is three main factors of success. In all these experiences, we can see that, first of all, there is the government support. So a support from ministries, regions, provinces that enhance this, that promote the enhancement of these assets, then the presence of an entity that oversees the recycling and runs the space, like company, social enterprise, municipality in some cases. And then the third is the community engagement. And then we can observe that there are three main outcomes. So in all these examples, we can see that there is the recycling of the heritage, because from the neglect situation, this neglect experience, we move to a phase of social culture activities. And then we have new economic opportunities for the site and for outside the site, and the urban revitalization of the urban context. So many thanks. So we move, I just finished my presentation with the ring of the alarm. And so